it helped me close a deal in my property and casualty business that I've been trying to for 3 years.
Today, I am really fortunate to be joined by a great man. Mark is here. He's an agent using our Agent Shift Plus system. He's a couple of weeks into using that system, and we're going to do just a pretty brief interview in terms of his results. And so, Mark, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. So let's just dive in and really maximize our time together. So I'm curious, when you think back to joining Jucebox, I think it was about a month ago, you went through a couple of weeks of training, you've been doing the lead generation and our Agent Shift Plus system for a couple of weeks. And so when you think back to that decision about joining Jucebox, what was that epiphany moment that said, this is the place for me? Why Jucebox?
So a little background. I was primarily a property and casualty agent. I had my Series 7 license. I gave it up. Always sold some life insurance, sold a lot of group health insurance, no longer do any health insurance. It's too labor intensive and too complicated, and you don't make any money doing it. And property and casualty, I'm 63 years old. I don't want to insure contractors and restaurant owners who will change for $500. So I decided to specialize in certain market segments. Technology companies, charter schools, chemical manufacturers, stuff that the normal agent can't do, don't know anything about. And insured will not change for $1,000 or $5,000 because of my knowledge and expertise. They won't shop, they just trust my judgment, and I educate my clients. My name of my insurance agency actually ends with consultants. And so Jucebox is kind of similar to what I decided to do. I want to educate my clients, and when they're done talking with me, they're going to feel very comfortable that we have a plan to help, a solution to help their problem. This is what Jucebox offers to get new customers. We're trying to find a solution for somebody's problem of retiring with not enough money. And I really feel good. It's a good feeling. You're actually helping people. Most middle class, upper middle class people, they have no idea about how to plan for their retirement. Now we're here to offer some help. Plus we can make a decent amount of money doing it. But if your mission is to consult with people and educate them to make them better off, you're not selling. And if you believe that, your potential client is also going to believe that.
I think what you're kind of describing there is the alignment with the sales process. And so that's what I'd be really curious to understand, because you're talking about a consultative, problems-focused solution, not a product-focused solution. And so I'd really be curious to understand, in terms of the sales process that Jucebox uses to get those prospects closing themselves, how have all of those tools, the scripts, the forecasters, the presentations, if at all, how have they changed the way you've been positioning and selling IUL and annuity?
I couldn't really have done it without this program, to be honest. It's there for you. The big thing is, there's a lot of very, very successful people using your program. So my philosophy in life has been, if something's not broke, why would you try and fix it? Why would you do anything different? Maybe after a year or two, yes. But I mean, I'm going to be quite honest. The other people doing it that are successful, making $50,000 a month, they're not any smarter than I am. But they have a process. I never used a process like this. I haven't made a cold call until this for 30 years. I had all referrals. So I find these are warm, cold calls. I mean, people corresponded, and I love all the training videos. This is a psychology 101 class about human personality. And
what do you mean by that?
Interesting. What?
What do you mean by that specifically, the experiment?
It basically teaches you how to probe, get answers, and then instead of giving the people a sales pitch, you give them a solution. Everything is solution based. And if you can't help somebody, then you lead them somewhere where you can.
Something you mentioned to Jennifer on our internal team was that you've noticed a dramatic shift by following the process in terms of how your prospects respond using that Jucebox process. Do you mind elaborating on what you meant there?
because I'm very non-threatening and not aggressive in my call. Hey, I'm Mark. I'm here. Just wanted to introduce myself to you. I need five to 10 minutes of your time. We'll have a quick phone call to see if you can qualify. And then I stop for a second and I say, see if you can qualify for the TFRA program, because only 30% of the people can qualify and 70% can't. Right there is the psychological part, because in the back of a successful person's brain, what do you mean I can't qualify? They want to know what you're talking about. This is psychology 101. You're giving them a carrot and you're taking away, and now this person has to prove that they can qualify. And they're going to talk to you. There will be another call. That's a learning process. Now, and it helped me close a deal in my property and casualty business that I've been trying to for 3 years.
What do you mean by that?
I've been trying to get, in the property and casualty business, you get what's called a broker record letter, where somebody just switches their account over to that's insured with another insurance company and the same insurance company with a different agent. And she had a problem. And I solved her problem within 3 minutes. And I said, hey, can I have the broker record letter? Yes, sir, no problem. I'm going to Africa for 3 weeks. They said, okay, I'll send it over to you in 2 minutes. This is homeowners and auto policy. It's $80,000 in premium. She has a couple of houses, fine arts, goes all over the world. That's about $8,000 in commission. I have more time to spend on the wealth side and annuity side.
How did you take the Jucebox system then and apply it to that specific instance where you closed the $8,000 in commission? Can you speak more about logistically? How did you take the training and that led to a commission?
It was just my mindset. My mindset is different. And then I've been in the business 40 years. I'm more confident in the last, and I'm always a confident person, but I'm more confident. I'm more relaxed. I used to, when most people hate cold calls. I love it. I love it now. I get a lead. I want to call that person within 5 minutes. And I leave a very nice message and say, hey, I'm going to call back in an hour. I hope you can talk to me. Or I'll call back tonight at 6 o'clock. I'll send them an email, text. And just mindset.
I'd be really curious to understand what specifically has been that trigger for you on the mindset side of things. Since you've been in the business for 40 years, it seems like it's obviously a part of the training, but was there one specific?
I think what it is, and people being in any business, but in particular in insurance business, you spend half your day putting out fires, very helter-skelter. And now I'm much more focused. I must make this many calls a day. And I put that other stuff aside. It's not important. Making the calls and the contacts to potential new clients is more important than this other stuff. You know, you only have so much time in a day. And so this is number one. The other stuff I could do later.
What do you think, if you can quantify, what do you expect to earn yearly with Jucebox? Do you have an expectation? Year one, what are you expecting to earn?
I would say year one, if I made another $10,000 a month, that would be great. My goal is actually $15,000 a month, and 2 years, $25,000 plus. And that's only putting in, I think it could be done putting in 20 hours a week. If you follow the system, other people are doing it. So I'm trying to follow exactly the system. Now, what you may say to a person could be a little bit different, but the system should not be changed one bit.
Like Mike says, it depends. The process should deviate from what the client says to us, not in our internal process. And following that proven, repeatable process that Jucebox has is really the most important factor in an agent's success.
So one thing I did the other day, which I'm going to interrupt you, is a guy said he doesn't have enough time. And what did I do? I agree with him, I know. I said, I promise only to take up 5 minutes of your time. He said, what do you mean? How can you do anything in 5 minutes? I said, I only need 5 minutes. We'll see if you can qualify. As soon as I said that, now I'm in charge. He points to me, what do you mean? I said, well, because only 30% of the people that we talk to can qualify, the other 70% can't. So why couldn't I qualify? I said, we'll talk about that in our next conversation.
And that's
Right?
just following our scripts and our processing for
And
those that know.
I will say, I'm going to time it. After 5 minutes, I took up 5 minutes of your time. Can we continue, or should we make another appointment for a phone call? Because I know you're really busy. Whoever invented that, I think it's absolute sheer genius.
And yes, you're speaking to the training, and that's in the objection handling training in terms of how do you handle these common objections that come up. And so that's just a bit of a teaser for folks that may not know. What would you say, if I could, to those folks? Think back to yourself when you were deciding, should I join Juicebox, shouldn't I? What would you say to somebody who was on the fence in terms of thinking about joining Juicebox, but they're just not sure how to make that decision? What would you say to that person with hindsight?
Are you making $25,000 a month now? How many hours a week are you working? And then I'd wait to see what they had to say. I said, well, here's all these other people. They're highly successful. They're not MBAs from Harvard and Stanford. They are very successful because they're following the system. So if they can do it, why can't you do it? That was my philosophy for, listening about other people, how successful they've been.
Mark, thank you for your time today. Really important. That we just exist to create results for our agents. And so please just keep that juice flowing, keep those results up. We're going to get you to that $25,000 a month here really shortly. So thank you for your time, my friend.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.